SAP cranked out some earnings. Dan, did we see some AI magic? Did we see the cloud backlog grow once again? What's going on here?
Yeah, so that's been the strength, Pat, of the company. It's had strong cloud results. It's had strong cloud growth, cloud backlog. It's starting to be able to tell a bit more of a story on how it's going to have AI. Its restructuring is sort of starting to move behind it. You're starting to see how it's not just pure ERP, but it's HR, it's customer experience, it's got concurrent expense management, and the ability to take what it's doing with AI to take its cloud transformation seemed to be really well received in this particular quarter, Pat. So was it a surprise? I mean, look, they're on an all-time high right now. So is this another AI bubble? I mean, look, I think this has been a company that's been pretty conservative. I think they've partnered a lot on AI, but certainly haven't overstated where they see AI being part of its business. They've executed well on cost cutting. They've seen 30% growth in their cloud contracts, and they're starting to see AI more as a meaningful. And of course, they're seeing their cloud ERP suite, so 27% growth there. So, Pat, across the board, the company's doing really well. They're growing operating profit. They're growing, and just to be clear, 30% of their cloud contracts now are inclusive of AI use cases. So, is this the magic AI revenue number in the number? No, it's not. But what they're starting to say is that people that are moving to their cloud or expanding their cloud contracts are doing so because of the implementation of AI, which is what people want to hear about. As we've talked to the company, and you and I have talked to Christian many times, and we've talked to others, Pat, is we do believe that they're doing things, very, very strategically. They're moving methodically. They're not overstating their capabilities. They're winning and working hard to keep customers. It's going to be very competitive with them and Oracle over the next few years. And of course, they have to deal with the same trend we talked about with agents and assistants. And how do we, sort of deprecate some of the complexities on the front end of these systems and make it more powerful? But where this company's gold lies is in its data. Among the richest data sets on the planet, they've got more access to more data for more enterprises in more geographies, and they do so. And they've always done so in ways that are very responsible from a data, sovereignty standpoint and residency and lineage. So I like the company's prospects, Pat. This was a pretty straightforward, very successful quarter, and congratulations to SAP. It may not always be the most exciting company, but you know what? Right now, data is gold, and it is the absolute enabler of a future of AI agents and assistants.
Yeah, good breakdown there. And I just love this story because there's a lot of questions about there were a lot of questions about the viability of SAP based on how quickly it got into cloud. And while I do think that SAP was late to the cloud, I also need to recognize that moving anything that, if it breaks, can take down your entire business. It takes down your manufacturing. It takes down your billing. It takes down your inventory. It takes down your financial system. You just don't want to move that. And I also want to recognize that there are customers who don't want to change anything. Okay, and I think based on three different variations, the pathways for customers to get to the cloud. Finally, SAP is basically, sending its message to its customers. We're going to move. We want to move with you, but we also recognize that there are some of you who just won't go. And there's two ways to deal with this, right? Oracle cut customers off on a certain date. That the time that it took for them to get over was lower, but they cut them off. And actually good to see this transition for the company. Operating profit was up 28%. I mean, cloud backlog up 29%. Just absolutely crushing. They raised their outlook for 2024, higher operating profit and free cash flow. The AI stuff is significant, right? In that even the size of these cloud deals. 65% of these cloud deals were over 5 million euro. And the AI attach rate is actually quite shocking to me, right? Because you have a customer set that is seems to be hyper conservative on this, but the ability to put that in there, I think, is super highly impressive. Yeah, Dan, the data is gold, right? Imagine, every widget you ever made, right, on the factory floor, every element of distribution you ever had, every single supplier you had, every single customer that paid you a cent, and the payment terms, having 20 years of history that you can put generative AI on top of to get insights. I mean, talk about skipping a beat, right? Skipping a layer on there. I think it's just super fascinating, and I look forward to see what SAP does on their data platform in the future. Right? We've seen Benioff with Salesforce lean into it hard. Gosh, he devoted 50% of his time on an earnings call to just talk about data.
Data cloud,
Exactly. Right? ServiceNow.
Raptor.
Yeah, ServiceNow leaning in hardcore. And I'd like to see 30, 40, 50% of the next earnings call going through everything that's data. Because, it's funny. Sales and marketing data is great, but 20, 25 years of manufacturing, finance, distribution, supplier, customers, that is literally solid gold.
Yeah, Pat, just one last thing on the way out. I mean, there is going to be consolidation, and that's the fight. And that's going to be really exciting, great for competition, great for use. People will not want to have 27,000 platforms.
Yeah, do we want to broach this, Daniel?
I can't now. I
Okay.
do want to do this, though. I have a meeting that's been waiting for me. But yes, for everyone out there, what do you guys think about us doing the agent wars? Maybe having a bit of a breakdown and a battle and a little fun conversation on this show about who's going to win the AI wars in enterprise software. Pat, how about this? I have an idea. We're going to release our enterprise apps and software future of intelligence and data report that's going to have the market size, category decision data in the next few days. How about I come on and you give me a platform to absolutely just blow my own whistle for about 30 minutes. I'm kidding. But we'll use that as a background to talk about why it's only growing 8% and who are going to be the real winners, maybe next week or in one of our episodes upcoming.